Well, welcome to That's a Thing 2 Overture episode 116. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nolan.
Drew's dealing with moving again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like
Here's a
moving.
I here's a I like moving. I don't like the process of moving because I underestimate how much shit I have.
Well, that's always the thing. Like,
Like
you always have
you
more
think like,
garbage.
oh, it's gonna be like a couple. You're like, hey, this will take like 3 hours, and it takes all day.
I could probably mentally I'm like, yo, I could probably move all my stuff in like 2 trips. Maybe like one trip with the furniture because there's always the bed and the tables and the
Okay.
chair, the computer desk. Like that's gonna be in the U-Haul. That's just how it is. That's how it is, and I accept that. But you think like, all right, maybe at max 2 U-Haul trips and then 2 in the car, where it's like, yeah, that's like the clothes and the computer and the garbage, the nerd garbage.
Here's the thing, then it's all your clothes, and then you're maybe packing up the kitchen. You got a washer and dryer you got to get to with as well
Oh, the
sometimes.
washer and dryer.
Yeah, it's the worst. The worst.
That was one of the things when we
And then,
moved. We had to get a new like water hookup for the washer because the old one got
oh,
damaged. But it's fine. The old girl's still holding on.
did you that or you get your dryer into the new place and it's the wrong kind of prong,
Oh, we
and
didn't have that
you're
one.
just.
We didn't have that
I
one.
did. I did. Oh yeah. I've done the. I had to buy an adapter one, and then I had to do the other, which is just cut the wire off the dryer and then put a new one on,
Yeah.
which is awful.
We had to get a new water hose thing for the washer and an exhaust for the dryer so that the dryer's exhaust can hook up to outside. It wasn't that bad because how it is over here is the washer and dryer are in the downstairs garage area, which means that if the washer
Okay.
leaks, it's not a problem. At my old
No,
apartment,
it's the garage.
did the thing where they put the washer and dryer on the mid level, or basically the same level
Yeah.
as the kitchen. It was like in a room off to the kitchen, but it was not on the bottom level, which meant if washer had problems, it would create even more problems.
Bigger problems.
Yeah. Which to me, if you're gonna, so if you want to live the life of of see, to me, the washer and dryer should either be on the ground level, because then if it leaks, it's not an issue. And if you really want to go bold, then you got to put it on the same level as your bedroom, so you don't have to carry the laundry up and downstairs. Because if you're living that life, then
No,
live that
look,
life.
it's gotta be ground level, or it's gotta be in the unfinished basement. Those are the two levels.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. When I mean ground level, I mean like as low as it can go. So when inevitably that thing leaks, it's not going to f up like a floor and a ceiling. It's just going to f up one thing.
Yeah.
That's
No, I don't. I'm taking. It's got to be in the ground. It's got to be under the ground.
Yeah.
It's got to be below sea level.
I could understand that. Well, so you're gonna have to walk up some more stairs, but that's okay. It's just closed.
It's fine. Something's going to happen to that, but it's not going to be major problems for you.
Yeah, you gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with the clothes. Oh, cool.
I know Bill was going to because I helped a friend move yesterday,
Oh,
and I had to move. We essentially had to move all of her furniture and stuff into her house, and I'm like, oh, this would just take like 6 hours. It took like 10, and we're both just exhausted at the end. And we're just like, oh, I hate this so much. This is a horrible idea.
also it was rainy tomorrow. I mean yesterday.
Yeah, on and off, it was awful.
Yeah.
Also, one of the reasons I'm having like connection problems because I kind of dropped my phone into a puddle while I was
Hell
lifting
yeah.
stuff.
Hell yeah. No, that's okay.
Ooh.
My
It's
phone
right out now. It should be fine.
my phone is currently non-cased right now because the old case evaporated around it. It was too old. It just kind of peeled and melted off. So I'm
Ooh.
living dangerously, but also kind of like if this phone breaks, then I get a new phone.
Yeah,
So
just get a new one though.
so I'm
That's
like okay, we'll ride this, we'll ride or die. But I'm also not in that active with it. It's either sitting on my desk or in my pocket.
in the pants.
Yeah, that's where it lives. That's where it lives. Okay, since Drew's not here, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'll get into stuff.
Um,
I tried
yeah.
to show my dad the first episode of Rick and Morty because we were reading I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm on book 2 and I really like that book series. I think it's quite good.
If I'm hearing you guys talk about it, I might start reading that now.
I think you would like Dungeon Crawler. Like, I think you have like an 80% chance to like Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think Drew has like a 45% chance. Because it's not. But I think. Well, yeah, but I think you'd be way more into it. But I like it. I think it gets better. I think book 2 kind of, at least the feeling of it tones down a bit of the cringe, a little bit of the cringe humor that's in book 1. That starts to tone down. It's still there because that's like tonally, but it's good. I still think it's probably the best isekai, and it adds a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff. But anyway, like tonally, I suggested because people were comparing it to Rick and Morty. So show my dad the first episode of Rick and Morty. And I think Rick and Morty just sucks. Like, revisiting that show, I don't even think it was... I don't know. I am confounded of why I liked Rick and Morty in the first time. And I've been having a bit of an existential crisis of, like, why did I like this? And I haven't had... And I haven't, like, because I think the most damning thing I can say about Rick and Morty is you can get everything good out of it by watching a 10-minute best of funny moments collection, where I don't think you could do that with Family Guy. I think there are legitimately good episodes of Family Guy where you can't get away with just watching the YouTube compilation of here's the funny moments, because I think Family Guy has genuinely good episodes. I like almost all of... Well, when I was watching Family Guy, I fell off.
Yeah.
But I liked the Brian and Stewie road trip. There's like there's like there's the pre-cancellations, and then there's like the couple seasons post-cancellation, and then there's like when Brian died or something. That was when I stopped watching. But there's like good episodes. I think I
stopped right before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there are a lot of like really good episodes.
There's like good episodes and there's good bits. Like I still think there are good episodes and bits in South Park. Like but Rick and Morty, there's just nothing, like, it's not funny. And I think, like, my only idea is maybe at the time there wasn't that many kind of nerd sci-fi humor, and I was so starved that I just latched onto it. Because, like...
I think I might agree with you, because I'm like running back. I'm like, there's a lot of much better animated shows now.
Yeah, and Rick and Morty started in, like, God...
What was it, 20...
It was like 2011.
2016?
Oh, no, it's 2013.
Oh,
okay,
God.
So, yeah, like 2013, like 2013.
Oh, God, yeah, okay. Yeah,
so,
I was completely doing that.
Yeah, and,
yeah, okay.
And this was, and I don't want to say, like, there's nothing like it, but 2013 internet and video was way different than it is now. Like, that was over... good Lord, it's 12 years ago. And I feel like as media has changed, there's been different stuff that's either taken its place or just turned into, just gotten in there, or just the tone is felt. Because that was also, I mean, as far back as it was, Netflix, basically the streaming, watching whatever you wanted to watch on demand did not exist.
Yeah.
This was like,
this was early Netflix. This is when like Netflix was like
yeah,
The Office and like 3 other shows. And that was it.
I don't know when Netflix started. I'm trying to find when it started the stream, because I think
It at least started streaming in 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
At least.
Okay, I'm looking.
Because I remember like binge watching stuff on it around that time.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. So like around 2011 is 2011, 2012, like 20. Actually, I think it's around 2013. That's when they started to get like their own, like the Netflix streaming started to become a thing. So like we could say that like Rick and Morty premiered at the dawn of this sort of streaming architecture where now you had everything. Because I remember that's when I was still watching TV at some point.
Ooh, yes, kids. You had to be at a certain time to watch it.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, you had to DVR it.
Yeah, the DVR, it's just not infinite TV.
So we'll come back to Rick and Morty. I should say I had DVR'd so many episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam 00 during that period.
I didn't watch 00 live because that was at the time.
Oh my god!
When I didn't have cable in my apartment. No, not in my apartment. It was just I just didn't watch it. I can't remember what the deal was. I missed 00 on its like initial launch, and I feel stupid about that. I think part of that was I was burned from Seed, and I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done.
No, it's fair.
And then I realized much later that no, 00 is really good. It's not like Seed.
It's really good.
Seed's for
so
Japan.
I want to talk about DVR because that's like my prime memory for it was doing it to like I have to work a shift that day, so like I'm gonna miss it, so I'll DVR it on the sci-fi channel so I don't miss it.
Yeah,
I feel like so I'm trying to remember the main plot of Rick and Morty episode 1 was like they had to put crystals in their butts or something.
Yeah, it was like, Morty needed to get the seeds and put them in his butthole. Past like,
okay, yeah.
And the whole thing was that like the seed made him smart enough to fake his parents that he was actually learning something in school, and then that ended with Rick saying Rick and Morty Adventures Forever, 100 years Morty, rickandmorty.com forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. I feel disgusted.
Yeah, me neither.
I really thought it was funny, but
that was hilarious.
But it's not. I do not know, because there's other stuff from like the era I still think is funny, but it's not. It's just aged. But this one, like, I didn't laugh. And I watch like old ass like sitcoms with my dad, and I still chuckle at jokes. Like, I've legitimately laughed at jokes in the hit series Wings, the secret the secret show between Frasier and Cheers. I'm like, no, this is pretty good.
I've actually, I think, laughed more at the Beverly Hillbillies recently than I have at Rick and Morty.
That's what I'm saying. There's like it's not because it's old. Like, I've seen old shows, and old shows have made me laugh, but it's just I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. And I don't think it's because of the fan base is cringe, and that set me off of it, because there's plenty of things that are cringe and embarrassing, but I'm still like, nah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still good though.
It's still good. I mean, I like anime. You've seen it.
I'm trying. I think we had this discussion before. Of like, is there a good Rick and Morty season? And going back into my mind now, I don't think there's really nothing that really pulls to me that are like, this was the best episode.
Yeah, it's not. There are like some bits I like, and some.
Yeah,
but it's like conceptual. There's like a conceptual joke I like the idea of, and I think that maybe have pulled it hard enough where I accepted that the show itself was not that funny. Like, I like the Mr. Meeseeks episode, I think is kind of funny. Like, the plot of inventing this thing that wants to die and solve a problem but can't. I like the idea.
And doing so, it brings in more, which causes a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, I do like the idea, but I'm trying to remember what was the. That's the B plot. What was the A plot? I can't even remember. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's stuff like there's jokes and ideas I think are funny, but the episode themselves, like, I don't think is funny or good. It's like, I didn't think Anatomy Park was funny. I didn't like that one was funny. I liked the concept of Rick putting a store next to the Monkey Paw Devil store that cures all his Monkey Paw Devil items. I thought that was really funny. But that's
only just out of spite for no other reason.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, that's like a funny B plot. I think Rick and Morty is just funny B plot and idea because that's where your sci-fi idea works. But whenever they try to do actual jokes and characters, then it just falls apart. Because the whole point...
I'm going to guess Justin Roiland's working on the A plots, and then the actual writing team's working on the B plots.
Or maybe it's just they thought that Justin Roiland kind of improv was funnier than it actually was. Because it's one of those where, like, everyone thinks that they can improv, but a lot of his improv is just him going like wibbity wobbity boobadoo and then yelling, and I'm like, that's not funny. I'm not a baby. I didn't clap because you yelled the loud words. Lubba lubba dub dub. I didn't think that was good. But yeah, that's been my thing.
What I'm trying to remember, what was Wubba Lubba Dub Dub from?
It was what Bird Person said, that Rick, whenever he says it, he means he's in serious pain. It's supposed to be his wacky catchphrase, but he's saying, I'm hurting inside.
Oh, okay.
And other things, I'm just thinking of things I liked in Rick and Morty, and this is kind of the same variant on the theme, when they went inside of their own brain for Scary Terry, and then they kept going into deeper and deeper dream realms until they eventually went into Scary Terry's brain. I thought that was funny. But then that episode concept kind of got reused when Rick had the entire civilization that lived inside of his battery that powers his battery. Yeah. And they had a smaller civilization that powered their stuff. And I was like, but that's kind of the same thing. It's turtles all the way down. I think Futurama made a better joke when he just said it's turtles all the way down.
All the way down.
What if that's it? Is that I was so hungry for Futurama that anything kind of approaching Futurama, which is like Rick and Morty, and it's that Adult Swim, and I'm just like, I'll accept this. It's just like, I'm really hungry for pizza, and you gave me the worst, the cheapest, like...
You were like, man, I really would love, like, a good home-style pizza, and someone put you a Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like a cheese, like a Little Caesars, just cheese pizza that's maybe been left out a bit, but you haven't had pizza in a couple months, so you're like, this is fine.
It's room temperature. The cheese is now rubber.
Yeah, but it's still pizza, and you're like, yeah, like if you had eaten anything, and it's also, you always got to say that like you're hungry, and this is like, this is or you're at work and this is the garbage pizza party they supplied, or maybe you're at like school and you're like, well, this is crap. This is a crap pizza, but it's literally better than what I was doing.
You sold $300.
Yeah.
It was 3 slices of pizza.
Yeah, instead of having to do math class, you get to go to like the gymnasium and there's like an inflatable like ball pit and some Little Caesars pizza, and you're like, dang, this is technically better.
Feel like it is better.
Oh, it's a lot better. It's better. It's better than math class.
Yeah,
but it's not good.
I honestly feel like we none of that money was used towards my education at all, if I'm going to be honest.
I feel like it was the kind of thing that was like paid a debt. Like that paid like a bill, or that covered someone's salary, or that was like, listen, we had to buy new books for like the library because that wasn't covered. So now we can have books that kids wouldn't read in the library. But, you know, I don't know. I read some books in the library.
Yeah.
I didn't once it hit.
I read a lot of Shonen Jump in the library. I'm glad they had that.
The library...
You know what? I take it back. If my chocolate sales are, I guess, it's either chocolate or it's like peanuts or something.
It's either magazines,
to the school,
candy or peanuts or whatever.
If that went to getting that Shonen Jump subscription, you know what? I'm fine with it, actually.
Oh man, that's so whoever was smart enough to put Shonen Jump in the library, they're cool. That's not how it was with me. I remember in elementary school, the primo library book was, you went hard for the illustrated pirate book where it just showed like a pirate ships, and you're like, it was just like diagrams. I can't describe, but it was like really good. And then later on, library books just became, okay, I had to like do research for a project or something, and I just did it here. And then later on, libraries are good. They're good stuff.
It is good.
You can read books. If your library has Dungeon Crawler Carl, check it out. It's probably pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm like halfway through book 2. Gonna be reading book 3. I was watching Mother's Basement talk about trash anime, and then like randomly he just goes, "Yo, Dungeon Crawler Carl is pretty sick," and I'm like, you know what? You're right. When you're right, Mother's Basement. You watch all these terrible isekais. You probably want to read the best one. It's either this one or that Musho Tensei one, or Digimon, or I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I just want fantasy setting. I don't want it to be a video game or it's vacations. Can you give me a good old like Tolkien anime?
Well, that ain't Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I know. I good though. Dungeon Crawler Carl is good. I think I'm just getting tired of isekais in general.
Well, the thing about the isekai is, and I think as I've ruminating or reading more of Dungeon Crawler Carl, is that the isekai's problem is that it's pure power fantasy, but the solution is basically boils down to, I got the skill Thunderblade, and Thunderblade kills everything in one hit. Or, I got the worthless skill Heal, but I can cast Heal 1 billion times a second, and then I'm invincible. It's that kind of thing. And I feel where what I like about Carl is it's a 3 mixture of abusing game mechanics, real life things, and then the meta mechanic that your entire dungeon is being broadcast as a TV show. so you're manipulating how the TV show audience works and your poll numbers to get you out of situations that you wouldn't normally get out of, but you're popular. So that the writers and the AI is like going easy on you in this impossible situation because you're saying my numbers are really good, you know. And then they go, damn it, he's right. His numbers are really good. We can't kill him off right now. So you get it, and that's
saw you at SummerSlam, and the crowd loved you.
Yeah, the crowd.
He's got to make you the IC champion.
Yeah, and it's fun that you have that mixture of abuse of game mechanics, real life mechanics of like, well, what if I just hit this guy really hard? and then it's like meta mechanics of I have an interview in 2 hours, which means I can escape this dungeon because they have to teleport me to the interview, and then I get to do a full rest because I'm having to do the interview well rested because they're not going to let me go on the interview like injured.
You're dying. You're sweating.
Yeah.
Bullets.
So then I get to come
drenched and bleeding.
Yeah. No, they're gonna heal me up, and I'm gonna come back, and then I get to have like a free fight. It's that kind. That's the kind of. I don't think that has not happened, but that's the kind of stuff that goes on in that book that I think it's like, oh, that's clever. It's cool.
It's genius.
It's cool. But yeah, so yeah, that's good. Yo, what about that G-Quux?
G-Quux. We're figuring out more how stuff works, and yeah, okay. Separate timeline stuff is happening.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I was shocked that G-Quux is going to be like is it 12 or 13 episodes? Like
I think this was the 12th, so it'll be 13.
So 13. I was shocked. I was expecting at least 24. I feel like this show, like, I'm torn because it's not long enough, but I can't really say anything more that wanted to be added to it.
Yeah. I don't think it needs a season 2, if I'm going to be honest.
I kind of don't think it does. I think we're going to wrap it up, even though I would have liked it to go a little slower. But I think that's more of my own kind of nerd of I would have liked to take more time to explore what it's like living in civilian Xeon a bit more.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a couple more clan battles. But I can't...
Like, how are the sides that teamed up with the Federation doing? And maybe a little more of, like, how's Earth doing after everything?
Yeah. I would have not minded at all if we got, like, 24 episodes and half were basically half was Char running as the Gundam, and then half was Machu in the present. That would have been fine.
Actually, I think I would have liked that.
That would have been cool, because then you could have because there's some stuff, I think what that would have helped with is it would have made the contrast of basically like I get character when Cassilia shows up. I'm like, I know who that is. I know the relevance of this. And I feel like if the show had some more runtime, it could have done that for people that have not seen the original Mobile Suit Gundam. I think that would have helped. Because, like...
No, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you know what I really want? I wanted to see at some point just Baby Minerva.
Yeah, we need to see the Power Baby. We need to see what the Power Baby is doing. Well, it's that kind of, like... And I feel it could have been fun. It could have been nice to see someone like, yo, here's some Federation dudes. They ain't doing so good right now. But I think that's my biggest complaint about G-Quux would have been, I feel like being made for Gundam fans is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the show, where if you didn't know this, I don't think it would hit as hard. Because there's stuff like Psycho Gundam showing up is wild, because I know what the Psycho Gundam in a Cyber new type is. But if you don't know what that is, it's like, what? Okay.
They show Bosco, and if you don't know who he is from Zeta, you're not going to be like, oh my god. You're not going to like know that amphitheater where Haman, Quattro Banaja, and the other Titan guy have their conversation about rebuilding Zeon when it shows up in this current episode.
Yeah, when like Cassilia calls Char, I can't remember his like Zeon name or whatever, because Char is Zeon's kid. Yeah, and you're like, no, that's Char. It's like, no, but he rode the horse. Sayla was mentioned like once. We never saw what happened to her. They had that kind of conflict in that one bit. I think that would be my, maybe not even a full, like, so we're at 13 episodes, maybe like 20 episodes. And we could have had it a bit more of the flashbacks to catch people up on like, yo, who is this? Why did
I also feel like this is maybe to get people to watch the old Gundam, or at least the movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
But Shalia he isn't in the compilation movies at all.
But he's like, yeah, I think he's in like 2 scenes, and then you never see him again.
No, you see Lala though. You see Lala in the Rose ship, so you know that. You see her
get cooked, and she says the line, "I can see through time."
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay,
they got that song.
So I did rewatch all 3 of the movies.
Yeah, I did that before I watched
the G-Quux stuff.
I watched it before G-Quux. That was my refresher to like get it caught up in my brain.
And then I watched Char's counterattack.
Yeah.
And I forgot people are just getting blown apart in that movie.
Oh, they get blowed up.
Like every protagonist every secondary character is probably done.
Yeah, that's
except for Hathaway, and that's it.
No, because they gotta go on to Gundam Hathaway, which I never watched.
Yeah. I got to that scene where like it's good, I like it, but it's more like, terrorist stuff. Listen, the Federation's still doing bad stuff. We gotta do something about that.
There's a lot going on in Gundam.
I definitely forgot about that scene where they are they're like, after the fight, they're trying to stop the meteor from hitting Earth. And like, Char and Amuro have this weird conversation about like, you were like grooming that child, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I was, but I don't care. She's a means to an end. It's like, well, you were doing that with Lala too. It's like, yeah, Lala was different though. She could have been like a mother to me. So he says, Lala could have been a mother to me, and Amuro goes, a mother to you, and then they both die immediately.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of.
That is so funny to me.
Listen, you get your out of pocket. You get the out of pocket when you're lifted up the meteor and you're glowing and you're about to phase out of reality. You can look at your bro and say like, "Yo, do you want to hear about my specific mommy kink?" And you're like, "What?" And then you just blink out. No one. It's the conquest. No one will ever know. No one will ever know, Amuro.
It's so weird.
Listen, I wanted Lala as both my mommy GF and daughter GF. Don't think about it too hard. I'm out. Char has to go out.
I also wasn't in love with her. I was just kind of grooming to be my minion, but who cares?
Listen, don't worry about it. I'm out. I'm gone.
That's I kind of like about this Char, because he's not doing any of that. He's just he's got his new boyfriend.
Yeah, he has his Mav, and then we get Suji, either the spirit of the Gundam, or Amuro. Is Shuji Amuro?
So the only thing I can think of is, because he has the blue and red hair. Is he the like time paradox child of Amuro and the Gundam, the new and no, Amuro and I can't remember her name. Shin, who was like the person who was like Amuro's love interest in Double Zeta and Charge Counterattack. Because he was the mechanic for the new Gundam. Sorry, when I say new Gundam, I mean NU Gundam.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying that Camille had blue hair. Keep that in mind.
It is Camille too.
He could be Camille.
And well, now I'm thinking Jaburo also has the same color as him. It could be all three of them.
It could be some kind of fusion gestalt. The Kira like took Professor Utonium. Put a little bit on.
Yeah, mix them all together.
Yeah.
The perfect Gundam. I'm wanting to the RX-78 Gundam is now in the altered timeline.
Yeah.
And I want the Zonkers to be like, oh, that thing looks old, and then just start zooming around.
Oh god, it's gonna mess them up. T-Paul's gonna mess them up. I really okay. So like, I think the G-Fred looks really cool, but it does not look like a Gundam at all.
No.
Like, I think it looks cool, though.
Oh, no.
I think it looks cool. I think the
awesome.
model is cool, but it does not look like a Gundam at all. G-Quad still looks like a Gundam.
Robot cat. Yeah.
That
it doesn't have, that little V on its head, either. Like, Gundams usually have.
No, it just...
But it's got 2 ears.
But it's basically, like, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's Ava Unit 1. That's just the Ava Unit 1. But, like, so there's, like, the G-Quux robot style, and G-Quux is the Gundam, and then the G-Fred is just Ava Unit 1. It's that purple and green. I like its little hat bits. I think those are cool.
There's going to be a point where they're like, oh my gosh, who's models? Like, Misa can see.
Hell yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to save the day.
Domo and
Those are the other...
No, it's Sunrise. Doesn't Sunrise own Outlaw Star? Gene Starwin's going to show up?
Oh my god, I did.
Yeah, all the Sunrise crew's going to show up.
One of those magic bullets.
Yeah, hit him with the caster round. It'll be great. Everyone will love it. Everyone.
Like I said, I'm okay with it ending right now. This is good. I mean, we've been eating good between like this, Witch, IVO, and Hathaway. So I'm like, oh yeah,
no, Gundam's doing fine. Like I feel Gundam is doing really right A-okay. I feel like Gundam's doing good. That Gundam card game's coming out. I keep looking at it, and my brain says
there's a TV show. Yeah. There's a TV show about making Gundam models.
Yeah, the girls playing the Gundam models.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but I know it's real. That's on my list. I saw it's like, here's your J drama where it's about the sexy ladies that make Gunpla. I'm like, that's a very specific audience. Go off. I'm down with it. And then like next year is going to be the Gundam Assemble miniature game, which I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see what the hell that is. I'm still that's what it's going to take for me to get back into miniatures. That's what it's going to do.
As long as it's slightly fun, I think we're good.
I think if it's like, because like it doesn't even, it looks like from what I've seen of like mock-ups, it's halfway between BattleTech and like the Star Wars miniature game, where or maybe not I don't know if you like it's like Shatterpoint or the Marvel Crisis Protocol. I don't know if you've watched Play on Tabletop play those games, but that's
Oh yeah, I've seen that, and then I saw like a guy play a game with that at Black Mountain like forever.
Yeah, and to me it looks like it's one of those kind of games where they want your guy to have an attack, a builder, and an ultimate kind of deal, because you are doing your Gundam. Like you want your Gundam to have the beam rifle, the beam saber, and then like the new type dodge, which I think that was Amuro's abilities on his card or whatever, where he had a shoot with like limited ammo. He had his beam saber up close, and then he had his new type ability, which lets him dodge. And like that's
You have to play the sound effect though whenever it happens.
oh, you gotta play that sound. Yeah, Vegeta also does it. That was always that was fun learning. I think because it's like Japanese stock sound effect or whatever. But Dragon Ball characters would also use the new type sound, and I was like, oh, that's cute. At least I remember them doing it.
No, they did it.
Yeah.
It's also like that. The flying sound for like Dragon Ball is also the flying sound for a lot of mobile suits.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
It's great. It's great. That's like it's their version of like the Ed, Ed and Eddie or the SpongeBob cartoon sound effects you'll hear all the time. You're like, ah.
Oh god, yeah.
I heard that one.
It's going to be the last G-Quirks Tuesday.
Yeah, my Tuesdays.
Get ready for it.
So then we got to think about what's the next one. What's going to be our next one?
I'm going to be honest. So between this and what's that? Murder Bots. It's like a Amazon show about a.
Oh, the murder drones.
Yeah, No, not murder drones. Murderbot. It's like so. It's in a future where like they create robot security mechs.
Okay.
Using like artificially grown human parts, but they're still like kind of human. So one like breaks his governing module that makes him have to listen to orders. So now instead, all he does is watch K-dramas.
Sounds
on his downtime instead of being like a murderers. It's neat, but between this and G-Cups, I realized I really just like having a weekly show.
It's really.
I don't want like everything. It's good. I miss it.
It's nice to have an anime or a cartoon or something where I'm like, yeah, tune in week to week. Yeah, I tune in for my nerd show. I'll watch it. I go, that's pretty good. And it's not either binge watch it, but it has to be like, I don't know, good. Because I was like this one, it feels like it's good enough where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the Amano Gundam show. I'm gonna watch that one. I like all of those words. I still think if I had to pitch for what Gundam they should do, I want to see your boss baby. I want to see in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium Gundam. I want to see like those drawings where they show like the Zeon soldiers' interpretation of Gundam, and it's just like the devil. Like you've seen those where it's like a literal monster. I'm like, no, but what if it was just the literal monster though? Like how Getter Robo starts to look. I want some mobile suits looking like that.
Yeah.
Where it's all nasty. It's gotten bad. Put the warp in there. Lala didn't see that part of seeing through time.
Listen, maybe we shouldn't be messing with security. Alright, who knows what's in there?
Yeah, we don't know. That could be Zeech. It could be Nurgle.
Giving them the ideas to make the big robots to cause more work.
Yeah. Now, this Gundam would be a Zeechian plan because you make your mass murder device, but you make it look cool, so everyone's like, yo, but did you see it, though?
Oh, damn. Like, now I'm thinking about it. Gundam's not all four. You got the Eternal War.
Yeah.
Of the space noise versus Earth, so Korn's getting his in.
Mm-hmm.
You got the technology, so you got Zeech. Yeah. You got a lot of the plague bombs and the poison gas.
Yeah, you got the basically the ruination and rotting of Earth and space, dude. That's their Nurgle.
Yeah, Nurgle loves that. Nurgle loves the destroyed little colony. And then also, damn, everyone's horny in space.
Everyone's very and that's like
So Slanesh is getting theirs.
Zeech is also gonna love all the political machinations of Federation and Xeon, all the betrayals and side deals and everything. Oh, Zeech is just lapping it up. Loves it. Shar trying to kill the Zalbies, he's like, oh, you just keep doing that for me, baby. You just keep doing it. Yeah, you tell Garma the wrong place to go. Yeah, you just do that to him. Oh, it's gonna be really good. Papa Zeech loves it.
Zeech is like, look, I'm cool that you lied with Cornelia about like, yeah, I'm done killing after I killed Dharma, and then just murdered the rest of them.
Yeah, I love it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, that was a good lie. You're in on it.
You keep doing it. Did you see the Donkey Kong video about the new Donkey Kong game?
I saw bits of it. I'm not getting that Switch anytime soon, so.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But it looks like it's a fun little
No, it looks really good. Like, that Donkey Kong game looks really good, and I'm just like, I'll get it when I get it. I'm just not there yet. I'm still playing Expedition 33. That game's incredible. That game...
That's a very good thing.
That game might be Game of the Year. It's really good. It's really French. I think the battle systems are great. They're throwing enough at you. There's enough random battles where they feel good because you can get your parries going, but they're not so many that they become bad. It feels like there's 5 to 6 random battles per area. Not random battles, but just like monsters per area. And you're killing them enough and you get your stuff. And then you get to set up your guys with your abilities. And it's cool.
From what everyone's like, okay, it feels like an older Final Fantasy game.
I would say it feels like if Shovel Knight is the idealized NES game, then Expedition 33 is the idealized 360 game.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Where it feels like a 360 game, but a lot of the stuff has been shaved off. Its biggest problem is it doesn't have a mini map on areas, so it's a little easy to get lost in some of the zones when you're trying to hunt for all the little secrets. That could be a bit problem.
Like that.
I'm not thrilled with that, but that's like my only complaint of that game. I think the characters are good.
You gotta run around, hit every wall.
Yeah, but sometimes you get turned around due to going into the mysterious French mansion out of time that you accessed because you beat a hidden boss, and then it put you back in the level, but you kind of didn't know exactly where it put you back, and you get turned around. This is like 5 minutes. That happens per area. But it's good.
How French is it?
Oh God, it is extremely French. There's a series of optional boss fights that you fight that are mime enemies. They're like mime marionettes, and they attack by doing mime motions. And when you defeat them, you get baguette clothes, where you're wearing stereotypical French clothes with a baguette on your back. So I'm just saying, it is France. But it also kind of has like a Nier sort of tone. It really, like, tonally, the game reminds me of Nier. It's that kind of...
Is it like serious but silly sometimes?
It's mostly serious. There's a couple of good jokes, but it really gets that vibe of we are in a doomed apocalypse timeline kind of deal. Because like the whole crux is basically you're in this city where you're overlooking this giant lady painter, and she paints a number, and every time she paints the number, everyone that age dies. So it's this, and it's been going down
Oh,
for like it started at 100 and it's been going down, and now we're at 33. So it's one of those where you're seeing people deal with their French, their ennui, their despair. I think, to quote Pat, and it was also in the game, where you get into a conversation where you're escorting. This is prologue spoiler, so it's not really that spoiler. This is tone spoiler, where you're escorting your ex girlfriend who is 1 year older than the main character, Gustav, and you talk to a side character, and they go, "Ah, are you two in love?" And Gustav goes, "Well, we've been broken up for a while." And then the NPC character goes, "But that does not matter in terms of love." And you're like, "Oh, that's France.
uh,
That's some
so French.
France." But it's really good. It's really good. I think
Nice.
it's an incredible video game. It's also cheap, and it's great. Like I really enjoy it. I enjoy my time playing it. And I would highly recommend it. Especially, I think it's like sort of a budget game. Like, let me see, how much of this sucker? I don't remember, but it was, yeah, on Steam. It's like $50, and you can download it, and it's like $50. But it's worth it. It's good. Music's really good too. It's very French, but it has that kind of like it reminds me a lot of Nier, and I like that sad vibe. But it's good, good video game.
It's on my list of stuff. That, and then I want to get into, I guess, no, I was about to say Undertale, Deltarune 3 and 4.
Oh
Whenever I
man,
get the chance.
Deltarune 3 and 4 are really cool. I watched Pat and Paige play them, as I do with Deltarune. But man, Deltarune 3 is like such a while. Basically, you could tell that 3 and 4 are the time and effort was worth it compared to 1 and 2. Because you could see, like, oh, they were cooking.
You know, that dog was cooking.
Oh, he was cooking, and he cooked real hard. I think there are 2 new variants of the song Rude Buster. There's Ruder Buster and Vapor Buster, and they are both very good.
Yes.
There's it's great. It's very cool. And then there's just I'm excited to see where that story goes. And apparently the next chapter is going to be next year. Because
Cool. Hey, perfectly fine with that. Awesome.
yeah, one of the ending slides of like during the credits of chapter 4, he basically says to be continued in 2026. So next year they're going to release chapter 6 or chapter 5.
Also, forget that one and 2 are essentially free
Yeah, it's
as well.
yeah, that's like the demo / whatever. But it's good. It's good. I think the Toby Fox shenanigans still going great. I'm a big fan of him. I feel like he is the one who is delivering on the promise of Homestuck. Homestuck couldn't do it, but Deltarune could.
Deltarune can evolve. I think Homestuck can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Homestuck was the prequel manga, as we all know.
Yeah.
Like if you want to read Gundam, Homestuck is Gundam the Origin. If you wanna know the origin of Susie, then you have to read Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff.
Ryan Hussey his soul is weighed down by gravity.
Yeah. Even though I don't think there's any direct Homestuck analog in any of the Undertale or Deltarune stuff. It's very
No,
weird.
just like the similar sound. Well, just the sound.
Well, yeah, because he did the music. Like because Toby composed the music for it. So like Megalovania was in his Earthbound mod, and it was also in Homestuck, and then it became the theme of Sans the Skeleton. So, I would say it's more thematic. Like a lot of the timeline shenanigans, that's a very Homestuck thing. Like that happens when how Sans / the player can like look through other timelines and see what the deal was. Like there are multiple Homestuck characters that do that. Where they're like, yo, I saw what happened at the doomed timeline and then I swapped over to this one. So like, that concept is there. You just gotta read it. You gotta read all of it. See, that would be okay. Like, I have this thought that it just I was rolling around in my brain, and so as we all know, Wooly is becoming a dad. Wooly is having a Wooly and Punch Mom are having a child.
Oh.
So the question I think is, was that a bit so in Versus Wolves, Wooly can tell John Eyepatch Wolf to have a baby? To like as a challenge, as a looming sword of Damocles. When Eyepatch Wolf thinks he's too high on his britches, Wooly's just gonna say, "Time for you to become a dad, John," and then he's gonna lose his brain.
No.
Because I think that'd be really funny. I think that would be really funny. See, if I was an Eyepatch Wolf, my whole thing would be read all of Homestuck. I'd make them read all of Homestuck. They'd have to know. Or but that's it. That's all I've been doing. I got nothing else. I've just been trucking on like expedition.
I'm right now. Just G-Coast has got me in the mood. I'm gonna try to catch up on all the Gundam stuff I missed.
Hell yeah!
So I want the next thing is that the Netflix show that I hear is not good.
Oh, that one? Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah. So
I watched it,
and then I watched a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm not. That show's
no,
not good.
I can't. I refuse. Like Cake Guru or Cake Guri is one of those shows that like mentally only works because they're like horny anime bodied teenager people that I can dissociate. I'm like, those aren't real. So like when the woman is getting horny about putting a gun in her mouth and pressing like playing Russian roulette, I'm like, yeah, I can accept that because that's not a real that's just anime. That's a horny anime, not even a person. But when it's like a human, like an actor, I'm like, no, that's weird. It makes me feel gross and not the good way. Like, it's like if you made live action Keijo, I wouldn't feel too good about that. I don't think that would work. I wouldn't be into it. But you make it like cartoons where one girl's butt is too soft that deflects all the other butt attacks, and I'm like, no, that works.
That's real pervert hours.
That's like it's the perversion of a girl who has to give herself a wedgie so that she gets so fast that she starts zero shifting around the arena like Jehuti. And I'm like, this is incredible. This is art. That's not going to work in real life. Just not going to do it. It's going to make you feel weird. You're not going to clap. But yeah, that's kind of it. I would end my recommendation of Dungeon Crawler Carl that it's good enough that it's making me read a book.
might get into that. We'll see where we are next week.
We'll see. I'm just saying.
I might have started book 1.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and you need to read the book because, according to that Mother's Basement thing, the director of Netflix Cowboy Bebop might be the one directing the Dungeon Crawler Carl live-action TV show, so it might be bad. That show might be bad. I don't think that show should.
We're like 20 for 0. No, yes, sorry, we're 0 for 20 on live action remakes or adaptations.
The only it's so like neutral because like if that guy's doing it, I don't know. But then Seth MacFarlane's like company is also signed on to like make the live action show. So like if it has the quality of the Orville, but like the Orville's good, and
yeah.
So like basically, I feel like Dungeon Crawler Carl live action TV show is either going to be the quality of the Orville or the quality of Netflix Cowboy Bebop, which is like an extreme difference. Maybe not like technical quality, like sets and stuff I think will be fine, but like writing is I don't know. I also think, but then again, I think you could fudge Carl a bit more because Carl is not so intrinsically themed to dying and space cowboys and Malays. Like, you can get away with it being just kind of goofy adventures with a talking cat. Which, you know, that'll always... No one will say no to. It's basically how good's Dope Princess Donut, the grand champion, Duchess of LeChonk. How are they going to do that cat? That's what matters. Is it going to be a CG cat? Is it going to get Chopper? Personally, I would rather Donut be like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where it's just an animatronic cat. That would be ideal.
Yeah, animatronic. I would actually...
That's what I want. I think that would fit the tone. But we'll find out. And with that, I gotta go. So thank you for chatting. Later days, everyone.
Oh, hey.
Bye.
Bye.